Hello and welcome back to our broadcast right here at the Virtual Hotel at the TOC's 15th triennial session. Joining me is the re-elected Secretary of the Trans-Orient Conference, and that is Pastor Themba Maseko. Thank you so much for your time, Muruti.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Prince.
Maybe your response to your re-election. I know that it has been a busy term that you are a part of, very eventful term, and you are back in it.
Yeah, my response. Firstly, I don't even know. I'm a bit tired right now, so I'm not even sure whether to say I'm excited or what. But I just want to thank the church once again for another opportunity to serve, and I'm truly flattered, not even flattered, but honored, by the response I'm receiving from the TOC. Is not a very easy conference, so I'm really truly grateful. I'm looking forward to another term, and I'm hoping to do better than we did last time. I've learned a few things, and I hope that come end of next term, things will actually be even better than they were this time around. But thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm truly grateful.
You say you've learned a few things. What have you learned over the last 3 years?
A lot. It's a lot. Like, for instance, I was thinking now that last year around this time, I wasn't even sure where to start. But this time around, I already have a plan of how I'm going to get my directors to settle in. Because the executive secretary basically runs that whole office. We need to have a year-end executive committee at December. I'm going to start working on that now. I didn't know that when I started. As you had seen, we introduced a new culture in the conference. We implemented a strategy, and we actually tried to follow and report according to the strategy. We were being exposed to some of the things. If you look at the red, the red dots on the report, but it was deliberate. It was because we are trying to introduce a new culture. That even when directors go in, are elected, and we agree on a strategy, they should know that they need to work according to that particular strategy. So that comes next session, we report according to the strategy. Otherwise, if we don't do that, we keep chasing a shadow. We run events there and there and there, but we never make progress. Our report is always about, I ran an event and we had so many people, but what is the conference? How are you developing as an organization? We can't see. So that's one of the things I've learned. And I've also, come to appreciate the importance of having a strategy and what it does. And you get to appreciate it at the end. When you look at the whole thing, you look at the picture, look at what you have achieved, then you begin to realize, so this is how this thing actually assists the organization to move forward.
And you're right, the executive secretary is really the pivotal or the heart of the conference. Just speak us through what you have achieved in the last term. It's so hard, or it's easy, I should say, to be critical from outside and not have an understanding of what exactly has been achieved, especially when people look at what hasn't been achieved. So talk us through some of your achievements over the last term.
And I'm assuming you're speaking about the conference
Yes.
at large.
Yes.
All right. Look, we achieved a lot, and we win as a team, we lose as a team. There's a lot that we've achieved. There are highlights that even members can see. But I think one of the biggest highlights, and I'm not going to speak about my own department, things that I achieved, because it's not about me. I'm going to speak about the organization and the team. I think my highlight for this term, something that I would look back and always remember, is that after over 10 years of disclaimers, we are out of that. That's the first one. And I think the CFO might have alluded to that. The second achievement that I'm happy about was the reduction of the number of unemployed pastors that I saw. We recruited about 15 pastors in this past term alone. So that was quite a big number. So I think that's one of the highlights, really, the achievement. Well, there are many other things that I would also probably share that I personally did, but it's not about me. As an organization, I think those that I'm just mentioning right now are the major highlights of our term for this past triennial.
Yeah. Speaking about the pastors, there was a lot of criticism from the constituents, from the members about the pastors and whether we are monitoring them adequately. Just talk us through what your office has been doing over the last 3 years in working with the pastors in that monitoring and evaluation part of the work.
I think you saw in my report that we spoke about the performance management issue. We have a reporting template. that we launched, introduced, pastors do have a reporting template. They submit it to the president's office every month. Um, we have been thinking about that. We had dialogues with them. We know the importance of doing our work as pastors. We know the importance of preserving the image of ministry. You know, a pastor cannot be a pastor without his integrity and reputation. You know, image is everything in our ministry. People should be able to look at you and see a man of God and trust you. The minute people see a dodgy character, of course, we are all aware of that. And those are some of the things we tried to address from the previous term. But of course, I must be honest, to say there's a particular institutional culture, which when I also had a dialogue with our HR manager, we've been working together for the past 3 years. It was sort of frustrating her as well, because this is a professional who has worked in the corporate world. She comes into the church. She would also want us to enforce certain things, but then we also get to realize that there are certain dynamics. The church is slightly different. There are unique dynamics in the church. So you need to find a way, to go around those and still achieve what you want to achieve. But all I can say is that now that we've been through that, we've tried to come up with all these policies. I'm coming in the second term. I think we are smarter now. We are smarter. I think Vicky has gained experience as well. We are bringing a man like Pastor Makua, very firm guy, with lots of experience. He served as leadership secretary for 6 years. He's been in the ministry for some time. So I believe that if we collaborate well, we will be able to achieve what we want to achieve. We need to make sure that members are able to trust us and that pastors deliver. That pastors do their work. They go to the churches. We need to minimize these complaints that we hear from our members. So we are definitely going to work on that, and not in a bad way, but we are going to put systems in place and make sure that and I've also realized, by the way, in my experience, we have policies to address those matters. They are there. Not that there are no policies. We have policies. We have a reporting template. We have all those tools. It's just a matter of ensuring that they are enforced and that we follow them to the T. That's what we need. So that's what we are going to actually work on doing right now. But one thing that I want to disagree with and caution is to our members as I begin now. If they have concerns, we are starting a new term now. Bring them to us. Let's address issues. Let's try to correct things. Don't wait till session and then come to the session floor and say things that we cannot even prove without even mentioning a name. Because when you make a general statement, we don't even know who is who. We can't deal with such. So we are starting a new term. If you think there are things like that we need to address to, don't wait till session. We are here. Talk to us. Let's not hear about things for the first time when we get to the session.
I'm going to be letting you go. I know that you're a busy man at this session, but not to put you on the spot. I know you've just been re-elected, but what are some of the your key points of focus that you are going to be starting on over the next few years? I'm sure you are identifying and have identified some, places where you want to start with and you believe will make the biggest impact in the next term.
The very first one, ACMS. I want to take TOC to 100%, like NCA, NCSA, Cape Conference, and others. We must definitely go to 100% ACMS. That's my first one. We've been working on it, and we're going to ensure that we get to that. The second one is retention and reclamation. We baptize and we lose members, and that department is actually under the secretariat. So I need to ensure that we also launch that, implement it, and we work on a proper strategy to retain our members. The last one is exactly what you asked me about earlier on. My dream, my wish is in my term of office, I wish we could, because look, these pastors are my colleagues. These are my colleagues. I'm not going to desert them, but I want through a team spirit. I wish we can create a team spirit and agree to go out there and do our best, make an impact, show our members that we are here for a reason. You know, we have passion. We want to do this. We love what we are doing, and we can be better at it. You know, do better. And I know there are also unique challenges that my colleagues are facing. Sometimes they may feel that members don't understand. You know, we have such a, but we need to sit together. You know, look at all these challenges and find mitigation strategies to say then how do we address this? How do we ensure that we are visible, transparent, and we are impactful? You know, our members feel that we are there and we serve them better. That's one of the things I wish we can achieve during this term, and I hope that by God's grace we are definitely going to achieve it.
Mr. Exec Sec, Pastor Themba Maseko, thank you so much for your time. I wish you all of the very best, and God be with you and the TOC in the next term.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.